Welcome to the From the Other Side live show podcast. The live show will begin in 2 minutes. Grab a snack and a drink and sit down to watch another one of our great live shows. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and share the live show video link. Enjoy the show. The live show will begin in 1 minute. If you haven't yet, please subscribe, hit the thumbs up, and share the live show video link.
Please like and leave a comment, and share this video.
Count as the Western Pacific, or does it count as the Eastern? Wouldn't Western Pacific be near California?
Hello everybody, welcome to live show 104 around in the Crosshairs. Good evening everyone, and welcome to the live show 104, streaming to you from Minsk, Belarus. I'm your host Dave, and tonight I'm joined by special co-hosts Michael and Steve, both US citizens who now proudly call Minsk their home. Before we dive in, quick reminder, hit the thumbs up to show your support, share the video link with friends and family, and drop your thoughts in the chat. And if you haven't already, subscribe. So grab a drink, let's get comfortable and peel back the world stage. Let's get on with live show number 104. Doo-doo. Hey guys.
Hello.
Buenos dias.
How are you?
Oh, just hanging out.
So we've been talking about stuff, which we'll get on to.
Say Dobry again, right? What time is it? In the East Coast in the United States, it's
There.
noon.
There, yes. On the clocks.
Yep.
12 noon in New York.
Oh, yep. I was looking for that one.
Yes.
Does that say it's 9 a.m. in Canada?
Yes, in Vancouver.
Yeah, in Vancouver, not Montreal or
No,
Toronto.
no. Same time as in LA, isn't it? And Seattle.
Yeah, same time as LA. But you should do it by the capital, right?
Yeah,
Ontario.
yeah, but it's the same as New York, isn't it?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
Vancouver's got all the
the
Chinese
same as New
people.
York.
Hey,
Vancouver's got all the Chinese people.
Vancouver.
It does, yeah.
Hey,
There's a lot
Vancouver.
of Asians in
Vancouver.
Vancouver. They've driven up the house prices a lot too, apparently.
Yeah. Okay.
But
So-
you got Belarus and Russia on there, same.
Yeah. Well, I needed 3 on each side.
All right.
There you go. So 4 a.m. in Australia, in Sydney, 1 a.m. in Beijing, 8 p.m. here and in Moscow.
Is Australia the same time zone as Tokyo?
No.
No.
Yeah, you should do a Japanese one.
Oh, we could do a Japanese one.
Just stick the Russia and Belarus on the same clock.
Have you guys ever been to Tokyo?
No, not yet.
No. I could have gone a few years ago. I should have went. It was actually during the COVID thing, and I was like, I had nothing to do, and I was like, I had like a free voucher for like at least one way would have been completely paid for, and I was thinking about just going out there by myself, but I didn't do it. I should have. I always buy all this stuff in there, and I'm, flipping it all. I should go check out where it's coming from. Anyway,
Let's start.
let's begin.
Let's begin. What do you want to start with?
You got an agenda for the show?
I have got an agenda, but what I want to talk about first is... I've lost it. Oh no, where is it?
I'm sure after a little bit we'll get back into the
The other
Yeah.
things.
discussion we were having before we started.
Well, what I want to start off with first is
the tribe.
the election here,
Yeah.
presidential election here is on January 26th, same as Australia Day. And news today is Belarus braces for Western interference ahead of the election. And news is that the Belarus, as we approach the election, there's allegations of Western meddling to destabilise the place. And where are we?
Can we explain what the fuck is Australia Day?
Australia Day?
Yeah, what is that?
When the first fleet arrived.
Like the first prisoners arrived?
When they dropped them
Yeah,
off.
Okay.
yeah, the first fleet.
The first taxi ride
The first fleet.
from prison.
Yeah, the first fleet. Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yes. The founding of the country.
Yeah.
There you go.
Not counting the Aboriginals who've been there,
Yeah, but they came from somewhere else as well.
Yes, they did.
I
Probably
just
Madagascar or something.
like how anything like Australian history related, you can just immediately start talking about prisoners.
Yeah, but they did that to America too. That's why they started after the War of Independence. They needed to take them somewhere else. That's why they went to Australia, because they couldn't dump them in your
don't
country anymore.
think-
In America, they teach us that they were the Puritan separatists.
They were, on the Mayflower. A lot of them were that's where the whole Thanksgiving thing is. It's basically these Puritans.
Yeah,
who were
that's that.
getting
But
abused.
but after that, they started
After
dumping
that-
their prisoners there, and then they couldn't do
Oh.
that after the War of Independence.
I wouldn't be surprised. But I think the French did it too. The French did it down in Louisiana. Like they were doing the same thing, the exact same thing the British did in with Australia, where they like made them. You had to marry a prostitute, and then you would both go to Louisiana to live.
Well, they did that in Quebec.
The French.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Gross.
or where I'm from, Iowa. You look at the French flag, and then you look at the Iowa flag, and it's literally just an eagle slapped onto the French flag.
On the first fleet, there was a whole boat of prostitutes as well.
Oh yeah, I'm sure there was, because that was part of the deal.
If you look at all of the people with French
Movies.
ancestry in French Canada, you can trace all of them back to I think it was 75% of them traced back to 150 prostitutes that got sent to the fur trappers. Yeah. Okay, so anyways, what do we...
I'm not one of those people anyway. My ancestors didn't come until long after that crap.
Well, I mean, I'm Irish, and my family is in the San Francisco area, so, I mean, they had to travel across America at some point.
Yeah.
Anyway, back to Belarus. So the accusations extend to suggesting that provocations are a part of the broader strategy to thwart peace negotiations between Trump and Putin, potentially leading to a NATO invasion using manufactured crisis like an attack on Chernobyl, and falsely accuse Russia therefore providing a pretext for military occupation of southern Belarus. So, and today the US State Department issued saying that they're not going to abide by the election, whoever wins anyway. So there you go, as usual. So
Yeah, because whoever's win is going to be aligned with Russia. But even though that's that opposition person they got up in Lithuania, she supposedly says she wouldn't necessarily be adverse to working with Russia, but even though she seems to she's bought and sold by the West, though, so it's really weird.
yeah.
She's like the wife of that guy who I think is still in prison here.
Yeah, and she's having an affair with one of the guys in the organisation. They just went to Crete for a holiday, a romantic holiday. There you go.
Not surprised about that.
Yeah, there you go. So, and they're all fighting, apparently, the two organisations on money and all sorts of things between them, because the money's starting to run out. You'll get less. So it's all about the money, as there is. So there you go.
Of course, money and sex, right?
Yeah,
And power.
yeah, yeah.
So I mean, yeah, I saw this thing that you had sent it to the chat before.
Hmm.
What do you want to talk about it? I'm like, I really haven't felt anything, but I mean, like any change in the atmosphere locally around here regarding this, and I haven't seen anything coming across a lot of the other channels regarding any movements along the border.
No, I don't think anything will happen.
Yeah, I don't think anything's going to happen either. I have been getting the flyers though, to go vote for Lukashenko. Even though I don't think we can vote.
No, you can't vote.
No.
Now you have to be a citizen.
Oh. Yeah. Would it change anything anyway?
No,
No,
but
there's other people running besides.
I did. I saw.
Lukashenko.
There's
Yeah.
a guy from the Communist Party too. I'm not gonna be voting for him anyway.
Yeah.
well, it's probably the second best option. I'm sure the other people are not fun.
No.
No, I didn't really look into him though too much. But he was the youngest guy, so I looked into. I was a little surprised. He's old as me. So.
Well, my personal opinion is Lukashenko's been doing a good job. So, and the place is stable and safe.
Yeah,
and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
He's been doing a good job. So.
Well, I mean, the whole thing here is you run into two groups of people. You got the ones that like it here, and they know that everything is good, and then you got the ones that are like, oh, I don't know. It's like every time that I talk to somebody and they don't like the leadership here, it's because, oh, I want to go see New York. I want to live in New York, or they like gay shit or whatever.
Yeah, weirdos usually,
Right.
or young girls think it's bad here too.
Right.
Some of them anyway. Not all of them, but.
Well, and every time that like, especially when a girl tries to tell me that shit, I mean, like, I just try to explain to them, like, okay, go walk down the middle of the street in New York at 1 o'clock in the morning and see how that goes for you.
Yeah.
It's like, it's that simple. Here, you can be fucking butt-ass naked and walk down the middle of the street and be fine. Like, I've seen a girl drink too much and fucking, like, just about throw up on herself, passed out in the middle of the sidewalk, and then her friends just stood there with her, and we were having a conversation. She's literally, like, sleeping using somebody's foot that's standing there as a pillow.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think you could pull that off in America.
Well, certain places, but not in any of the big cities and stuff like that.
Well, I mean, you definitely get in some trouble either with some people or the cops are going to pick you up. And
Yeah.
I mean, I've been drunk here, and I mean, like, too drunk, and the cops just, like, tucked me into bed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I've heard of that happening before. I have.
They took me back to my apartment, and they put me in bed. Thanks, guys.
So it's not bad. It's nice. You get house calls with the doctors here too.
Oh, yeah.
If you're a citizen and everything. We do it all the time with my son. My girlfriend's worried about him being sick, and she'll call the doctor, and like about 3, 4, 5 hours, the doctor will come right to your apartment and look at you and everything.
Old school.
Yeah, really. We never get that in the United States.
No, that stopped a long time ago.
Depending on how sick you are.
Unless you want to pay out the ass for it. I mean, you drop the doctor $5,000 in his pocket, yeah, then it might do it.
Well, I think I just did my insurance again because I just had to do my paperwork renewal, and until October, from February 1st until like October something, I think the end of October, it was like 160 euros. So like almost a year of health insurance for under $200. In America, I mean, if you want to even just get it for yourself, it's what, $400 or $500 a month.
Easy.
Yeah, if you're doing it privately, on your own, not having it. Like, see, I get mine like through the government still, sort of.
Well, I mean, I have free healthcare forever, so.
Yeah, you got that through the VA. I mean, I don't have that. I got just Blue Cross Blue Shield private health insurance. But the thing about that is, it not only does it cover me anywhere in the United States, it covers me here too. But you got to jump through a bunch of hoops to like get reimbursed for it over here. I usually will do the stuff to get the pharmaceuticals reimbursed because that's easy. But like if I go to the doctor here to get it reimbursed, it's like they give me a hard time about it every time. So usually I just pay it out of pocket and forget it because I'm only paying like I went and get like. Last year I went and had 2 ultrasounds done, one on my heart, one on my liver. I had an x-ray done on my ankle, and then I had 2 just general doctors, like, looking at my blood work and just talking to another doctor, and it was like $40 equivalent, so.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, here I only got sick one time. I ate some pork balls from the store that I did not cook correctly. And I had a temperature of like, it was like 40 degrees or something, or 41 degrees.
It's like 101, 102.
Dude, I was like fucking dying. I looked at it and it was like 103 or 104 degrees when I converted it.
Yeah,
and
that's bad.
yeah, and somebody took my temperature and then they called the ambulance, and then they were like, you got to come here now, like he needs to go to the hospital. So they came, and they were there within it was pretty quick. I mean, like less than 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they
That's not
came
bad.
and they took me to the hospital, and then I had to stay there for like 2 or 3 days. I was like fucking shitting my guts out, and I had a bunch of IVs connected to me and stuff, and because I have the health insurance here, this is $0.
I had to pay. I had Achilles tendonitis about a year and a half ago, and I had to go. They gave me laser therapy sessions, 10 laser therapy and 10 ultrasonic, where they shoot an ultrasonic gun at your ankle to kind of like, or the tendon area on the back of your heel to kind of like get rid of this. It was bone spurs on the back of on the back of my heel that was causing the tendonitis, and it was like $21. It was like less than $10 for 10 sessions of the one, and just over $10 for 10 sessions of the other. And I was like, psh.
Yeah, once they let me out, they wanted me to buy antibiotics and probiotics, and I think total that costed me like
Antibiotics probably like less than $5.
yeah, it was like $10 or something.
Yeah, I just did some.
And, like I bought like the nice ones, So
Oh, you got the ones like one made in Poland or Germany or something.
yeah, exactly.
If you get the Belarusian, I took amoxicillin probably like sometime in December because I had some bronchitis, and for a week's worth of amoxicillin it was like $3 or something.
Oh fuck!
Yeah.
I'm sure in America they'd charge you $100 for that at least.
They charge the health insurance company you're using that for that.
Right.
I'd have to pay the copay, which would probably be like $20 though. So,
Did you? Sorry. Did you see? Just slight digress, but talking on medical. Did you see? Because TikTok is closed in America, everybody's gone on this other Chinese app, Red Note.
Yeah, I saw that. It's
And
weird.
and of course now the Chinese are showing them what it's like in China, and now everybody's going, "Hey, shit, we've been lied to," and how everything is obviously at reasonable cost and all that, same as the medical stuff as well.
Well, it's weird because I don't know. TikTok wasn't really a Chinese app. First of all, like the owner is Singaporean, I think is what I read, and then all their servers are in Texas. And then they're gonna try and ban TikTok, and the liberals that hate not being free to do stuff and want to do all this gay shit then switch over to using Red Note, which is a Chinese application where if you do any of the stuff that they like to do in America, I mean, they're just gonna throw you into a fucking re-education camp in China.
You see, Estonia wants to get the EU to block TikTok now because it's been used for elections, right? Like in Romania and all that sort of thing. So they're now saying it's interference, but it's just because they can't control it.
Well, yeah, because I mean, it's totally exploded into just, I mean, it's propaganda after propaganda, and just the rest of it's like, well, I don't know if you guys are hip to the slang brain rot material, but like, yeah.
I never used TikTok ever. Never downloaded it. Never even looked at it really.
I mean,
No.
I like memes.
Yeah,
memes are fine.
But memes have been around since like the last 20 years.
Right. I mean, like I like good old fashioned memes, but I mean, like these people are sitting there and they're watching stuff where it's just like, I don't know, like
Old-fashioned memes. I remember a time before memes. So does Dave, right? Before, you remember growing up? You remember like when there was no internet?
Well, I still remember that too.
You remember when there was no cell phones? When
Yep.
you had to call somebody, you had to wait till you got home or find a payphone.
Yeah. If you weren't home, you just missed it. And it's like, oh, you didn't know about it, so it doesn't
We
matter.
had answering machines. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. That was it.
Well, I mean, it's like I don't know. I'm just old enough to where like I remember using my dad's baseball glove, and it still had the same phone number that my grandpa had at his house like 30 years later written on the baseball glove.
Wow.
So, I mean, like, I saw that side of it, and then at the same time, I grew up in California, so, like, that's where the internet was just popping up.
Yep.
And so we were playing, like, you could go to the computer cafe, and you could play the Counter-Strike 1.6 at the computer cafe, and laser tag was starting to get big,
Yeah.
and that kind of shit. And then I moved out to Iowa, and that would have been like 2005, 2006, and we lived outside of the city where you could only get like that HughesNet satellite internet bullshit, and like that barely worked, and it was slower than fucking dial-up, and you couldn't even use dial-up at my house for some reason. So we only had that, and yeah, I just I didn't have internet like until after high school. So like I never played like Xbox with all my high school friends, and like you would have to come over and play it like at my house on the couch.
I understand, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because I didn't have internet. I mean, we had dial-up in the 90s. I mean, we had internet, but up until I was getting into university, then we switched. The cable became cheaper and more available and stuff back then. So, and cable was like, whoa. I remember we had dial-up and we were only paying like $9.99 a month for like America Online. So like I remember like in the late 90s, and I was talking to my dad about maybe we should get this cable thing. And he's like, I felt bad asking him too because it was like $50 a month at that point. But it was so much better than dial-up that when we switched, just in the first like couple weeks of using it, my dad was like, "Yeah, this is we're not getting rid of this."
I mean, I still remember when I was a kid.
Remember in dial-up getting pictures, eh?
Oh, I remember it would take you a whole day to download like a 3 megabyte MP3.
Yeah.
I still remember my grandpa starting up the AOL to check his mail.
Oh yeah.
But that was like after he had the fast internet, and he was still checking AOL. And then
it's still around. You can use it as an email address if you want.
Yeah.
I use Yahoo as my primary email address still.
Yeah.
Really?
I got Google. Yeah, because Yahoo was really like the big search engine back in the 90s, especially the late 90s.
I remember because I used to use Yahoo instead of Google.
Yeah, so I knew Google was going to be big when I first saw it back in like that was like $2.99 maybe. I remember I went there, and that was before it really got big. It wasn't even a private company yet. It was like just fucking these guys in California made it. And I'm like, but it's so simple in the minimalistic thing. People love minimalism because at the time you go on the Yahoo search page and it's all fucking the weather, the fucking news, and it takes you. Most people still had dial-up in the late 90s.
Yeah.
So it takes 40 seconds for the page to load up. You go to Google, because it's all minimalist, even with dial-up, it loads up in like 3-4 seconds. And it's like, boom, there you go. Type in what you want. There's none of this garbage with the news and the weather and all this other crap all over the place. So you just get into what you need. And Yahoo, you sit there and be like, loading up, just so you can type in something stupid you want to look in the search bar real quick.
Actually, that might be why I used Yahoo when we lived in California.
Yeah.
And then after we moved out to Iowa, everybody was using Google. I didn't really think about it.
Yeah, because of the speed, the efficiency, the simplicity. That's a big thing with Apple too, is the ergonomics and the ease of use of a lot of their products. And Facebook versus MySpace. You remember MySpace?
Oh yeah, that got really ridiculous. MySpace, just so much crap on
MySpace is the same thing. Even when you had cable, it would still take a long time to load up because people had songs and videos that would automatically play on their profiles when you load
like
up.
4 or 5,
Slows everything
yeah.
down.
Oh my god, dude! I had so many fucking memes and songs on there. It was ridiculous.
Slowed everything down. Facebook was very simplistic, very clean. Just the data. And
Yeah, the original one was really.
Yeah, it was really like
clean.
Trimmed down. And like people like be like, oh, we're going to offer more features. Be like, no, it only works if you're offering features that are useful and get people to what they want. And you got to ask yourself when you're building stuff like that, what do people really want out of this product? But every product, it seems they fall victim to this. Like even going to Facebook now and it's full of fucking AI bots and ads all over the place, and it's like, ugh.
They got all those engineers sitting around. They need to do something.
Yeah, they need to do something. These people are trying to justify their salaries, and they're trying to be, we're going to do this for this company, and I had this.
Oh, look what Elon did. He got rid of 70% of them.
Yeah.
Well, and then you want to talk about those engineers that are people. Yeah, those people are mostly from fucking India and shit. So.
Some of them are, yeah. The ones who are in California, though, I mean.
Well, and this is, I don't think, did we have a show since that H-1B thing with Elon happened? Did you see where everybody was flipping shit at him? And
yeah, I saw him, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, so that's when people started looking into that stuff, and then it turns out that, I mean, it's not an accident that nobody can find a fucking job once you get done with all your degrees and stuff in America, because they're selling the education to Americans and saying this is your only way that you can.
Yeah, and then they're importing people with IT degrees from India that they paid only like a couple grand for their whole 4-year degree, and they're bringing them in. They're paying them, less than they would have to hire a full-time American computer science graduate for. This has been going on for 25, 30 years, by the way.
And if you look at that H-1B stuff, actually, even though they're paying them less than what they would pay an American, it's well above what the average salary for an American is.
It's well above what the average salary for an Indian is in India.
Well, but it's well above what it is for an American too.
It depends.
Because I saw like they're making six figures at these software firms, and
if you're looking at the average salary across all professions, yeah, for Americans. But if you're looking at the IT industry, IT salaries, if you're a top IT AI programmer, you can make tons of money.
But that doesn't matter, because if you're an American that has the degree and you can't get a job, your salary is fucking zero.
Yeah.
So, and they're sitting here and they're giving Indians and random people six-figure jobs, and
they are.
We can't find anything.
You know what they're doing in my buddy who's been working for the state of New York since he graduated. He has a computer science degree. He's a database manager now. But anyway, he still works for the state of New York, but he moved up at the management. But they've been doing it since he started working there. Is they don't like to hire full-time employees like full-time state, like you are a tenured state employee, so you got the pension and everything. So they will actually pay you a little bit more as a contractor, where you only work for like 6 months to a year. You do your contracts or whatever, and probably like 90% of these contractors are all Indians, and they'll pay them a little more actually than a state employee. They have no job security, they have no pension, but they're making a little more money. And what these Indians do is they get all their cousins or whatever, their family, whatever, come over who have IT degrees, and they all will rent a big fucking house, and they'll stuff like 20, 30 of them in there, and they'll all help each other out getting these jobs at the state or wherever. They have these contract gigs, and they'll all live together to save money, and they're sending a lot of the money back to India. And then after they're done, if they can keep doing this for 10, 15, 20 years in America, then they'll just hoard as much money as they can and just leave the country and retire in India. Which isn't necessarily, I shouldn't really fault them for this, because it's actually completely logical. But they have no loyalty. My buddy who works, still working for New York State, he's complaining about it all the time. He's like, these people have no fucking loyalty to the organization. They don't care about the country itself. They don't care about the state. They don't care about the job even. And some of them can't even program that well. Some of them can only do a little bit. So then they help each other through their tests. If they know that there's going to be a promotion test coming up, and one of them passes it, he'll help the others, telling them what the questions are. So we had to start changing up the questions on the tests like constantly. Anyway, but yeah, they're all. But can you really expect that? If these people running that country over there, this is such a stupid idea with globalism. You think there's endless immigration. These people are gonna have no loyalty. You got to at least have a few generations inside the country, really, to build up that internal loyalty within your population.
It's just I don't know.
Right.
If you say America first, now you're racist and anti-Semitic and homophobic and whatever. And
who cares?
Yeah, well,
let them say what they want. Let me call them racist.
Who cares? We do, but they don't. And
I don't care if they call me racist. I don't.
No. We care about America. They don't.
I used to. Now I'm kind of just like, eh.
Well,
it is what it is.
I don't give a fuck anymore.
They
completely they drove the whole place into the ground.
Self-inflicted wound.
Yeah.
It's basically they shot themselves in the leg and they're bleeding out.
Well, I don't know if it's themselves. See,
well,
we're
leadership.
We're going to start getting back into that discussion we were having before the show started.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah.
They allowed themselves to be manipulated through their own weakness and stupidity.
Well, but the thing is that a large portion of the government isn't even being manipulated. They are doing the manipulation because
they're in on it. Yeah.
Yeah, they have dual citizenship and they all trace back to one fucking place. And
well, we'll talk about that in a second. We'll talk about that in a second.
I'll go hit the fridge. So.
Can you give me a beer?
Yeah.
Thank you. All right.
Okay. Yes, right. We'll go on to that in a second.
Okay.
Iran. It's in the crosshairs again in America and Israel. What do you think?
Okay. Now that we're back, let me just get a burp out because I was drinking a little too much. Iran and Israel. What do I think?
Because it seems the US is on the verge of trying to do another regime change there.
They've been saying that for 30 years now, 40 years, probably maybe even 60
Yeah, but don't you think this time they might have a military conflict?
I don't know. I don't think Trump really wants an all-out war. I think Trump personally doesn't want a war. I don't think Trump really wants a war with Iran.
De nada.
Because why would he?
Yeah, but don't you think that he's got no choice?
Well, he got like $100 million from this Zionist woman, Adelson, right?
Mm-hmm.
For his campaign.
Mm-hmm.
So he's obviously going to be somewhat indebted to her to some extent and her ideals. But, I mean, he did come down hard on Netanyahu recently. I mean, shouldn't even say he really came down hard on her. But basically, his is this his State Department guy, this real estate guy that he hired to be his
envoy.
He had him push Netanyahu into a corner basically and say, like, this, you're meeting with me, this has got to happen, this has got to go down. A lot of people are suggesting that there's some sort of backdoor deal going on where they said you can do this, and we'll in return we'll support you in going after Iran, or maybe even some people are going as far as say, like, well, you do this deal right now and we'll look the other way if you find a reason to justify going to attack Gaza again or Lebanon or whatever. But Iran is biting off a lot, because Iran is 86 million people. It's in the middle of a fucking desert, really nasty terrain. For bombing them, yeah, the U.S. could do it. We could just bomb the crap out of them like we do a lot of other people. But they got Russian air defense now, so that might even be an issue. But
the Pentagon's always had that. Remember Wesley Clark? He said there was a list of all those countries to invade and destabilize, and they've done all of them now except Iran.
But I'm just saying. I'm saying they can't do it. I'm saying that they could.
Yeah, but don't you think it doesn't matter who's in president?
To invade it, ground invasion like they did Iraq and Afghanistan?
No, it'll be more like just a bombing.
Yeah, just bombing. But there's only so much they can do with bombing, really. They would have to bomb them for like a year straight, and the Israelis bombed Gaza for a year straight with 2,000-pound bombs, and Gaza is the size of what is Gaza is like a few miles long. A few kilometers.
Yeah, it's about 5 miles by 25 miles.
Well, I mean, if they wanted to, they could just flatten the whole thing. They're just not doing that.
They could probably, but you're talking Iran now is bigger than Texas, and they'd have to put more bombs into it, and for a longer amount of time than they did to Gaza to even have really any impact. And they're also dealing with actual legitimate air defenses now. And it's going to be a lot more difficult to hit them. It's going to be way better air defenses than Afghanistan had, because they had none basically. I don't even know if Iraq had any when they went in for 2.0 against Saddam.
No, I don't think so.
Wait, does that mean that Iran has more people than Ukraine even had?
Yeah, twice, double.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
I just figured that they were all a bunch of fucking.
No, they got 86 million people.
No.
Shit.
And highly sophisticated too. They got technology.
Yeah, I know a lot of Iranians from here. I'm friends. I've actually hung out with a bunch of Iranians here.
My girlfriend's sister is married to one. I haven't met him yet though.
But yeah, they got some pretty women too. By the way, the Iranian women are.
I just figured
you're right.
that they were like
89 million.
shit.
Yeah. Some say 86, but
I just figured that they were like sand people, like the rest of the.
It doesn't matter if they're sand people or not, but they got some technology, and technically they're Persians. All right, so you're talking about the other sand people, like the Yemenis, the Iraqis stuff. They're Arabs.
Okay.
So the Iranians are Persians. Alexander the Great with
no shit.
That type of thing. Yeah, Babylon. Babylon's technically in Iraq, but it was for a time it was a Persian city. So they consider themselves ethnically different than the Arabs, and they are more technologically advanced than a lot of those countries down there, except for the ones that have gotten a leg up from U.S. tech.
Well, I just know like everybody in the army that I talked to that went to Iraq or Afghanistan, they always said that they were just a bunch of sheep herders, and that was
Afghanistan,
pretty much it.
Afghanistan,
yeah.
They're backwards and not very developed, most of them.
No, I mean, it just sounded like they were just rural people that just did the same thing that they did for forever.
Go online, look up some pictures of Tehran. Look at Tehran.
No, I mean for the Afghanis and stuff.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, I know.
But,
Afghanistan's kind of a.
I don't know. I just I guess. For somebody my age, I mean, like you grow up and all you ever hear about is fucking Gulf War, then 9/11, then fucking then you got the rest of the shit, and
Yeah, so you think the sandbox is all just a bunch of backwards,
right? So you just hear sand
technical-
people, and I just at this point it's just like I just fucking stop thinking about it because I mean it's fucking annoying. Like, what the fuck do these people have to do with me at all? Like, and here we're gonna get back to that certain tribe that wants you to take
Yeah.
out all the other people for them, and it's just like, dude, ugh,
Yeah.
fuck.
Well, even though the Iranians do consider themselves different from the Arabs too, because they actually consider themselves Persians, not Arabs. So, and their culture is a little different and everything. But if you go online and look up pictures of Tehran and any of their other major cities, they have a lot. They're very developed society. They have lots of interesting architecture in their cities and everything, and technology and everything. The ones that are, a lot of them that are here are studying dentistry and trying to become doctors and various things. And they're also relatively progressive, despite the fact that you got Netanyahu up there who'll be like talking about how they have no women's rights and they hang homosexuals off of cranes and all this other crap. I've met Iranian single mothers. There's feminism in Iran. All right. You can get a divorce as a woman in Iran. All right. They do have to wear the head thing, the hijab. What is it? Hijab,
No, just a scarf. That's all.
Is there a scarf? No,
Just-
they have to cover their head.
Yeah, but just with the scarf.
Yeah, they don't have to cover their whole face. Just their hair. While they're in Iran, but once they're out of Iran, they're just like any other, Western girl.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I've seen photos in Iran as well. They're not wearing a headscarf either.
Oh
So-
yeah, they sometimes kind of do it when they're inside and stuff too, at a protest too. But when they're out in the street, technically they're supposed to cover their hair, but they don't have to cover their face. And it's very sophisticated overall. And women are working there and they're getting educated, in Iran and abroad. So
Like Libya was until they bombed the fuck out of it.
exactly, and Lebanon used to be really nice too.
Yep.
Yep, Lebanon. So
And
all these people, and it's
And even Syria was, like I said, multi-religious and all that. Now it's just going to be
now it's going to
full
be
of head choppers.
Islamic fucking caliphate, right?
Well, I remember
Such
what
a
did they
shame.
call it? Where it was like there was like a Arab Islamic awakening or whatever, like in the 70s before we started getting into all that shit, and you could see pictures. It looked like it was pretty normal in Iraq, Afghanistan, the whole area.
You used to be able to drive from London all the way through Middle East, Afghanistan, all the way through, no problems.
But it's funny because you mentioned that in the 70s and 80s, you think that that's when you first started hearing about the other stuff that they claim with the World War II.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. Are we on YouTube right now or?
Yeah, we can say
Oh
it.
Jesus!
We'll say it.
I don't know. That guy Tim on, or was it? What is that guy? That guy. The whole video. He got some backlash from it. Where is he? Matt Kim, the Asian guy. Maybe he can get away with it because he's actually Asian, but he's an American Asian, So I don't know if he can get away with saying the J word. Other people can on YouTube.
Well, I mean, the thing is I don't know. Like I have family on one side that's Jewish, and like they'll say they're a Jew. Like
Wow.
yeah, I mean I'm not related to them by blood, but
They married into her or whatever.
right. But I don't know. Like it's like when people try to tell you that it's a racist to call a Japanese person a Jap, or you don't call me United States of American every time that you talk to me. You call me an American. I don't see what's racist about shortening a word.
Yeah,
well,
that's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
That's what I was gonna say.
Or call you guys Yanks.
right. Well, see, and the
No.
funny thing is, everybody thinks that
No, I'm just saying it's not racist either, right?
No.
well, everybody thinks that Yank or calling somebody a Yankee is racist or
Is it?
whatever. But
No.
we
No.
literally have a song called Yankee Doodle, and it was a marching song, and that's why you call us Yanks.
Yeah.
Some people, other Americans call other Americans Yanks because if you're in America,
The Southerners call the
yeah,
Northerners that
if
because
you're,
it was a
his
Union
only
marching
refers to
song.
Northerners usually in America.
Hmm.
So even though like Brits will call all the Americans or anybody over here go Yankee, go home. They're like all Americans Yanks. Now in America, it's only like people from the Northeast who are called Yanks. So I mean, we have a baseball team, the Yankees, right?
Yeah.
Nobody's
yeah,
getting
yeah,
offended over
okay.
that, but all the Redskins forget about that.
I heard they're going to put the name back to the
I
Redskins.
wouldn't be surprised. I mean, after a while, it kind of gained so much historical relevance relative to the sports teams that it doesn't even matter. Come on. You know?
Well, it's just it's the whole thing is just the Yankee Doodle song.
Yeah.
Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony.
Stuck a feather
In his cap and called it macaroni. But that's the whole thing when you see like they're sitting there with the drummer boy and the fucking pan flute boy or whatever.
Yeah.
Like do 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 do, and that was like the marching song. So like when you call somebody a Yank, like it's just a reference to that song. Because when I first started talking to a Belarusian kid here, he thought that it was like a racist word. So he's like, ha ha, Yank, ha ha ha. Like, when he was talking to me, I was just like, yeah? Like, what? Like, you know that song? and I had to explain the whole thing to him. And he thought it was, he thought he was being funny because it was racist.
Yeah,
Like,
it's not.
like, he thought he was making a racist joke, and he had no idea. Like,
How
nobody...
do you make a racist joke?
No, what
about
I
a
meant,
Yank?
well, no, what I meant was we call you guys Yanks, so why can't you call the Japanese Japs?
Well,
It's the same sort
It's
of thing.
just shortening. You got to say it when you say it with Japan anyway. Japan.
It's
Japan.
because those well, it's not white people. It's those. Here we go again. It's those people that pretend to be white people that say that.
Yeah.
Oh, it's because you stuck them into all these concentration camps, and no,
Not everybody. Just out in the West in California, right?
the
During
ones
World
that
War
were
II.
spying.
Yeah. During World War II. But the thing is, they didn't do it to any Germans, though. And there were a lot of Germans in America.
Wow.
Didn't they?
No, they didn't put any of them in there. They catch a few of them, though, coming in from Germany, actually, to spy. The FBI got them.
Yeah, off the boat, U-boats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, they caught a few of them.
Well, it depends because we did have a large German immigrant population before that shit even started.
Of course.
But, you know, when you have a lot of Japanese start showing up.
My buddy's got a picture of his grandfather
Suddenly.
wearing the SS uniform. When his father died, I was helping him dig out his father's basement in his house. He found a picture of his grandfather down there, and the guy looked. And the weird thing about it was, so he looks just like my friend, and his father's like in his 20s wearing the SS uniform and everything. And I was like, oh my god! And he's like, his friend, he's kind of like proud of it, my buddy, but he's one of these liberal dudes. Like he's so fucking like.
It's got 2 lightning bolts. He must have been an electrician.
He wasn't like he's like proud of it, but he's also like when he's one of these guys who will always lean towards the liberal side because he's kind of two-faced like that. He'll just pretend to like be because he feels like that's where the movement is gravitating towards is like that left viewing side in the United States. So he will always side with them. Like if I'll like go out with him to a restaurant, and I said something like to a waitress like, women shouldn't have the right to vote. And the waitress will look at me like, what, really? And my friend will be like, I don't agree with him. But in private, he admits that I'm right. Because he has no balls, you know. Because he wants to, have everybody view him as, especially women, got to view him right, you know.
Well, that's like...
I don't talk to him anymore, though, because he's like that. Because he's one of these type of people. Flip-flops.
I think the problem with when you gave women all of that power to vote in America, here we go again. This is what happens after I start watching documentaries.
Yeah, you blame it on them.
Well,
a lot of them were involved with it, though, too. Yeah.
Well, so for the whole women's suffrage thing, and then for the feminism stuff, I actually saw a quote where I forget who it was that said it, but it was a Jewish woman that was involved in the stuff, and then she said that she was seeing so many Jewish women involved in it that even she was getting tired of being around Jewish women during the women's feminist movements.
Yeah.
So
it has hurt them too, though. Like I've had at least 2 or 3 Jewish lawyers in my lifetime. And one of them once confided in me. He told me, my worst part of my life was when I was working.
Well, with a big psyop like that, I mean,
it's gonna have some blowback,
right? But for the ones that you can get to, I don't know. I guess it's they have to have some sort of caste system, right?
Only
something.
they would know, but them.
Right, but they have to have something. Because, I mean, you have the normal families, like average people, And then you have these really high up there people.
You know, with them, and to quite a large extent, I think this has to do with pretty much everybody in this globalized world right now, is it's not a, there is some sort of familial stuff going on, but you know, they'll help each other out with money and stuff inside their families. But I think a lot of it has to do with basically being able to just push through all the shit they've set up to fuck everybody's lives up and just going on anyway. Because you will see people all around getting fucked over in their lives, you know, even wealthy people. Now, obviously, it helps a great extent if your name is Hunter Biden and you're doing cocaine and crack on camera while you're getting a foot job from a prostitute, and then your dad, you know, goes and pardons you when you got charged and convicted of like 3 felonies or something. I don't know how many felonies you got convicted of.
I'm not gonna lie.
That helps a lot too.
It does sound pretty sick. If I could get away with all that, I'd be pretty fired up.
Oh, I don't even know exactly what he had on his laptop, except for I mean, I've seen a lot of the pictures and video. Mostly to me, all that stuff is just humorous stuff. I don't know what actually the criminal stuff. I think he got convicted on like a gun charge.
Well,
and he's about to do tax evasion as well.
The tax, all right.
The
So
guns,
these are
the tax evasion, the smoking the crack in the bathtubs, and the smoking the crack in the White House, and the
the cocaine the Secret Service found just laying around. We don't know who it belonged to.
It might have been.
Yeah.
Hey, it might have been Kamala's. Though.
well,
It could have been. I mean, but you have this notorious guy, right?
Yeah.
Who's on? He's got videos out there all over. I've seen 3 years ago. Somebody sent me a video at like probably 11 o'clock at night, and this guy's a guy I'm friends with. Him. I think it was in like fucking Montenegro or something at the time. He sends me the video. He's like, this guy just got sent around 4chan. It's fucking Hunter Biden sitting there on his bed, and his prostitute's jerking him off with her feet. And I'm like, oh man, like his dick and everything. None of it's blurred out. So, and then and the next thing I'm thinking about, I sent it to a few of my other friends. I'm like, you know, this is, you got to think that like Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, these guys are fucking rolling in their graves right now. That the most powerful man, not just in the United States, but on the planet now, because the United States wasn't a superpower back then, but now it is. His son is on video getting jerked off by a hooker with her feet.
but to be fair, don't you think that Thomas Jefferson was having his slave girls do that to him?
That's what they say. That's what everybody says, is that he was screwing his slave on the side. He had like, you know, his slave was his mistress or something. That was probably going on a lot back then too. You know?
Well, I mean.
It's wild though that now, because of the internet, you got somebody like Hunter, and he's like, you know, what, in his 50s probably. So he's growing up in a different. He's older than me. You know, he's growing up in a time. He's like mid Gen X. So he grew up in a time when this stuff wasn't possible. But now you got to be like on guard about it all the time, even when you think you're private. You got to pretty much basically run a bug detector over your fucking toilet to make sure that nobody's fucking got a camera under the seat looking up your asshole, because of the amount of just cameras and phones and electronic devices everywhere. So, yeah, but he, you know, basically was volunteering this stuff because he's recording himself, you know, doing stuff with the prostitutes and smoking crack and all this other stuff he's doing. So it's not like he was really trying to hide it. And he hasn't even said anything about it, really. That's the funny thing.
Well,
He doesn't deny it. He doesn't talk about it. Just whatever. He's too busy selling his artwork.
but the thing for me is, and I talked about this,
which all got burnt down in his house in
Yeah.
LA the other day.
Did it?
Yeah,
You lost
his
a lot
house,
of it?
his house as well.
we talked about this the last time I was on the show, though. What is everybody's obsession with recording everything? I don't understand. I never take pictures.
I wish I did it more though. You don't.
Well,
No, yeah, we discussed
sure,
it. We discussed it when someone's like having an accident. Everybody's like this instead
Right.
of helping.
Yeah.
But like, if you're doing something fucking like that you're not supposed to be doing, like smoking crack, why would you record yourself smoking crack? I don't get it. It's.
Anytime you're dealing with a police officer, though, in the United States, you should record that. And that's something I didn't grow up with. So even back like 10, 15 years ago, I didn't do it. Even though I could have well, maybe not 15 years ago, but 10 years ago, I could have definitely done it. And I recommend, yeah, it's something you should do, especially when dealing with any authority figure inside government or anything, to record it. just because out of safety reasons and stuff. Because there's, especially in the United States, there's so much corrupt shit that goes on, where they just bend the Constitution over backwards to fuck you over.
Well, I mean, I do have to say, dealing with public service stuff here, like with doing paperwork or going to the hospital, or any time that, like, because I'm a temporary resident, the police, even just not too long ago, they went and they checked my paperwork at my apartment just to make sure that I have what I'm supposed to and blah blah blah. And I don't know. I've never had a bad experience here. I've never had anything goofy happen. But I can't tell you how many times in America just weird shit, like completely unexplainable. Like, I worked in the office in the Army where you do the paperwork to ship personal goods or get somebody paid for driving your goods back home when you get out of the Army.
Yeah.
And after I got out of the Army, I tried to turn in the paperwork and they kept on denying it like 10 times. And I did every fucking thing that they told me to do. And I ended up having to just give up. And then they stole a bunch of money out of my tax return. And it's the only bad thing that I ever had on my credit report to that point. And they dropped my credit score from, I think I had like an 840 something. It was almost perfect. Mm-hmm. And it went down to like a 6 or a 500. Mm-hmm. It was fucking awful because they stuck a federal report on there. And then I also had other weird stuff happen, like got sold a fucked up car, and then it got picked up by the insurance company, and they fucking dropped it off the back of a truck, and then they wouldn't fucking pay for it, and ruined a whole court case. And nobody would fucking sue anybody because as soon as you get insurance companies involved, lawyers won't touch it because they all fucking work for them. And we're gonna get back into that again, where all the fucking lawyers come from the same fucking place. So, and all the people that own the insurance stuff are from the same fucking place. And then you just start to wonder, well, how much of that stuff was really by chance, and how much of it is they do that stuff to you on purpose because they want you to just, you're always going to be stuck behind. In America, they want to make it so that way, well, like, I was doing something skilled. I was doing pattern making. I was making the molds that they pour castings into at factories. You have to do it with CNC machining and, like skilled work and all this bullshit. Yeah, you know how much they pay you for that in Iowa? It was like, I think it was making like $10.75 as an apprentice. Like, $10.75 an hour. Like, how the fuck are you even supposed to live on that, You can't. And it's not like I'm fucking flipping burgers.
It's like $23,000 a year.
Yeah, but you flip burgers in California and you make, what, $25 an hour or some shit?
I think 15 minimum, right?
No, it's like 20-something minimum in California.
Well, listen, when I got my first job when I was 16, but I'm older than you, but, this is back in 1999, about 2000. I was like 16, and I was working at a pizza place. I was getting $6.50 an hour. So,
well,
yeah, but the cost of living and everything else, that was lower then as
it's
well.
A lot lower than it is now.
Yeah.
It is.
Even
but
when
I was living with my parents though. But there's no way if I was like, older than that, if I was, say, like in my early 20s and I had to live off that, no way I could do it.
Well, I mean, I had just gotten out of the Army, and like, I had a wife to take care of, and I had the
wife to take care of?
Yeah.
You were married?
Yeah, I told you.
I don't think you ever told me that.
The Korean girl that got citizenship and ran away?
Twice.
Well, what? No, the second one, no.
I thought you said twice.
No. That was for like, right after we got married, she showed up at my house.
Married a Korean girl. Oh.
Cool. I thought you'd been married twice.
Well, yeah, the second time, she showed up at my house, like, right after we got married. I had to get it annulled. She showed up at my house, like, right after we got married, and turns out that she was hiding from me, that she was, like, snorting coke, and... Yeah, and then
you don't want to deal with that.
she tried to attack me in my living room and tried to fucking kill me because she was hallucinating.
And this is in America?
Uh-huh, and this was an American girl. And I kicked her the fuck out of my house after I had to fucking defend myself from her. Called the cops, told her exactly what happened, and then she's high on cocaine, driving all the way back to Iowa from Florida, does it all in one shot because she's high as fuck on coke, And then the police accuse me of trying to do something, while this chick is telling me that she's high on coke and she's gonna jump off a bridge and kill herself in front of a train and stuff. And they won't stop that, even though I showed everything, and they won't take her to go get help. But then they accused me of being an abusive man.
Well, you're dealing with some. And yeah, I'm not surprised at any of that though, because I just in the United States, I don't fuck with American women. Because the system over there is entirely jilted in the favor. Any country like Australia, the UK,
Any
US,
Western
country, the women have been elevated to a step above the men in general. Unless you are a top half of 1% man, you should not deal with them because they will. The police are always going to side with them. You're always the bad guy. Anybody with a dick is a bad guy. And then you got the other issue. You're dealing with a cokehead. All right. I dated a cokehead. Well, I dated a coke dealer before. I dated a girl who was selling coke at the restaurant she worked at.
Jesus.
She was selling to her boss and everybody, the owner of the restaurant and everything. Oh my God, that was a mess.
If you're doing all that, why do you even work at a restaurant? Just to sell to
Tips.
poor people at the
she
restaurant?
was working at a kind of mid-high-end restaurant.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she was,
Also selling it to people at the tables?
I met her right after I came back from Texas. I went there to get a glass of wine. So it's a kind of a nicer place, and it was back in New York though. And we ended up. What's funny about that story is that I went with my buddy, the same one I was telling you about, who flip flops on every idea he has, and. The funny thing about him is he pretends to be all liberal. We go to this, or sort of liberal, but then I know he really kind of isn't inside of his head. But we go to this restaurant. We're sitting down there. We're both having a drink, and she comes up, and I'm talking to her. She's a waitress at this place. So her best friend at this restaurant is this gay dude. The gay dude starts immediately hitting on my buddy. So she's talking to me, whatever. I end up getting her number. She was initiating all of it, but she has this. Dude, so my buddy, he's like 6'3". He's a big guy, tall guy. Not like muscular really, but tall. And then this other dude is really tall too. Her buddy is this gay waiter. He's probably like 6'4", even bigger. And he's fucking tossing so much game at my friend. Like, hey, if we all want to go out for a drink afterwards, your buddy can come along. I wouldn't mind getting to his pants. Like saying it, right? Like right out loud. Like all this. And my friend is like, he's seething, getting angry. I'm like, and I'm just like, dude, like you say you're all like pro this stuff. I'm like, why are you getting mad? I'm like,
see,
take it as a compliment.
The thing is like, no matter how much you try to be friends with those people, man, they always push it too fucking far.
Which people? Which people?
Gay people. Yeah. It's like I remember I worked at McDonald's with one.
I wasn't trying to be friends with this guy, by the way. I was talking to the girl that he was friends with. She was into me, and he was hitting on my buddy, and I was just kind of laughing at the whole situation. Go ahead, finish your story.
Well, when I was in high school, I worked at McDonald's with one, and it was a gay black kid. So that was already two things there that I don't normally. But he was a nice guy, Yeah. And so then I asked him if I could get a ride home after work one day, and as soon as we get in the fucking car, God damn it, dude! As soon as you get somewhere where they think that
they're private and you think that
right, well then it's hey, can I suck your dick, bro? And I'm like, what are you talking about, dude? And he was like, oh, come on, just let me suck your dick. Like, I'm really good at it. And I'm like, but, he's like super feminine in the way he's...
Yeah, he's got kind of like
lisp in it.
Yeah.
Let me suck your dick, bro, like
come
that.
Come on, Mike, you want your cock sucked?
And I'm just like, dude, like, haha, funny joke. God. Yeah, that's hilarious, but no, thank you. And like trying to be polite about it, but they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing.
Yeah. They think they're going to convert you.
Well, and that's exactly the thing is those people, they always think that and it's not just with the gay stuff, but it's with all this fringe stuff. Either side. They always think that
they're going to like twist your arm and get you to submit to their degeneracy,
Right. I mean, whether it's
I don't know about you, but I mean, my whole thing is like I don't get attracted to dudes. Like, I don't look at a dude and I'm like, I want to stick my dick in you or anything like that. I'm not like, it's just there's nothing there.
No, I mean, it's like
it's weird shit.
I can look at a guy and be like,
I can say he's a good-looking guy. Like, he's got a good facial symmetry, and he's
Right.
well-defined features and everything. But that doesn't mean I want to. I can look at a painting that looks very beautiful and be like, I don't want to have sex with the painting, though. Okay, you know what I'm saying? I can see things that are aesthetically pleasing and put together well and appreciate that. But it doesn't mean I'm sexually attracted to that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, I mean, like you can't tell me that like Jake Gyllenhaal or Ryan Gosling. I mean, like those are
They're good-looking guys.
right. But I mean, the thing is like, I don't know. Like I couldn't even like rate them on a scale or something. I'm just not into it like that. If you gave me a bunch of famous girl actresses, I could tell you I like this one, then this one, then this one, and then I'll tell you exactly what I like about them.
Yeah.
But the thing is like I don't know. They always think that they can push you into agreeing with them, doing what they want, and I don't get what's with all these people with all these extreme ideas on whatever it is. Why do you think that anybody even relatively normal would agree with any of that stuff? It's just I don't know. How do they keep on pushing the borders of normalcy to now you think that everybody agrees that children can decide what gender they want to be, or like how do you even get these ideas? And then I don't know. It's like
Very weak-minded people is what it is.
right. I mean, like even when I have these discussions, like like somebody sends you a picture of maybe it's an African model or actress or something, and I don't like them. Like I don't like the dark skin. Their facial features are masculine to me. I'm not attracted to them at all. I like white girls. Like, that's it. I'm a white guy. I like white girls. And then they tell me, oh, that's racist. Well,
no. Having a preference isn't racist.
Well, but it's not even a preference. It's that, and I just watched a video today of Muhammad Ali talking about this. Bluebirds go with bluebirds. Redbirds go with redbirds. If I'm a bluebird, why do I want a redbird? It's not my kind. Like, I want to stick to my kind. There's nothing wrong with that. Animals are supposed to stick with like animals. So who is it that's pushing all of this stuff? And then you look at who owns all the fucking media, and now we're back to what I was talking about before.
Well, we can segue to that. We can segue to that if you want. You were telling me you were watching some documentaries in the last couple of days.
Yeah.
What were they about?
So I ended up. Let me see. I sent it to you. So it was called Occupied, and here let me look at exactly.
Do you want to have one of these beers?
No, I have another one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. I got one more left. You could try it if you want. This is that winter one they make. It's really good. I like it now. It was the one that Duke was talking about.
I just went with the classic Weiss beer, so yeah, you can't really beat that.
No,
but
those are always good.
So it's Stu Peters and his team, and it's the movie is Occupied, and it talks about Israel's influence on the American government. And prior to watching that, I had just watched a video on how the Hebrews and the Israelites, well, actually, they're Semites, and then you have those Israelite tribes. What was there, 12 or 13 of them? And each one was a son of somebody. Like, they had like a whole fucking chain, and then you get down to Abraham, and then you have Abraham had Judah and another son, and he didn't like Judah, and so passed down everything to the other son. And then Judah ended up like selling him into slavery, and so then he ended up starting this whole Jewish religion with the Talmud, and wrote it like it was like 400 to 600 years after the rise of Christianity. So even though Jews claim that they're an older religion. The current form of Judaism is not. Hebrewism is, but Judaism in its current form, no. And then you have the whole thing that we were talking about before the show, where Ashkenazis aren't even actually Israelites or Hebrews. They're Eastern Europeans that started.
Let me ask you a question. So, like 2,000 years ago, what we call Jews today weren't even Jews; they were just Hebrews, basically.
Hebrews and Israelites.
So they wouldn't call them Jew. The word Jew or Jewish didn't exist then. Judea didn't exist. It was just Hebrews or Israelites.
So. But it said in the stuff that I was watching and reading, it said that Judah started Judaism. So, but if you look in the Bible, it's always talking about the Hebrews and the Israelites. But Judea is one of the tribes, the tribe of Judah.
I thought Judea was the area.
No, well,
because they lived in Judea.
It is the area, because the tribes were separated into the areas. But then you also have, if you want to pull up that picture that I sent you, and then we'll have to see if I can also find. There was also another picture that I was looking at that showed where the tribes of Israel had their territory, and none of it matches.
Okay, it's on the screen now. There you go.
Right. So I still have to figure out what that patch says, but you see how obviously this whole area is unstable, and we know why. It's because America keeps on getting into it, and I just told you who actually controls the American government, and you got these IDF guys running around with this patch of all this territory that they want to control on their shoulder. So I don't know. It's a little cut and dry, honestly. I don't know how much more you could even say about it. Well, and then it's also very easy to find a map of the 12 tribes of Israel. So here, we'll send that to Dave real quick, and we'll have him pull it up on the computer. And this is also what they were looking at, where if you pull that one up. There we go. So then you see Judah had the most territory, and that's where the Gaza Strip is, and that's where the Jews are currently controlling. But they want all of that land back, plus they want all of the stuff that they showed for Greater Israel. But like we were talking before the show, Greater Israel doesn't really make sense because it gets into a bunch of territory that they never controlled. Yeah. It's like a Manifest Destiny type situation where they're trying to take stuff that they never had.
They won't get it. I'm not really concerned about some of that.
No, but it does tell you exactly what their goal is. It
shows you their ambitions.
Right.
I mean, not anytime soon. I don't think in our lifetimes they won't get any of that. I think that they won't get that before the United States loses a lot of its power and can no longer be their lapdog, because it won't be as strong as it is at the moment.
I think
it already has lost some of its power, in my opinion.
I think Manasseh, I don't know how the fuck to speak Hebrew, is the one that
that's in Jordan right now.
I think he was the one that was in direct competition with Judah. And that's the son that was supposed to have everything passed down to him. But then you run into the issue that we were talking about before the show, where Ashkenazi Jewish people are from Eastern Europe. Maybe at one point did come from that area, but then they lived in Europe for so long. But you have them, and then you have the Sephardic Jews, which are Jews from literally everywhere else. And then you have, well, if JewTube gets mad at us, they're going to say that we're being anti-Semitic on the air. And well, I'm sorry, but Ashkenazi people, they're not Semitic. They're mostly some sort of inbred Eastern European, and they stole the name of the Israelites, and they're stealing land. And if you look at how they've been systematically taking parts of the Gaza Strip and forcing them to slowly give up all their land, the people that they're attacking are the actual Semites. They're the ones that are related to the Hebrews and the Israelites that actually lived there. And it's funny because I think they want you to think that calling them out on their shit is anti-Semitism, because they're trying to misdirect from the fact that they're killing the real Semites right now. And me being Catholic, I have a sort of a view on all of this stuff, seeing as how Catholics have to go through a lot of religious education, and we have to read a lot of this stuff. And well, in its current form, Judaism is it's made after Christianity, and it's not the same as Hebrewism or whatever the Israelites practiced, whatever word that's supposed to be. So everything is a little more complicated than you think, but at the same time, it's a little more simple, because you see one group on that map, that one group, that one bit of land that just says Judah. Those are the people that you're dealing with. It's crazy to think that over the course of 1,400 years is what we're going to say, since Ashkenazi Jews started to become a thing.
It wasn't. They traced their DNA back. It's only 600-700 years. That's it.
Well, in that amount of time, the people that claim to be from that tribe of Judah, I mean, they're infiltrating the daily lives of every single person that's on the planet. And something we talked about last time, the only reason that America got into the war with Japan was because Japan attacked us first. And you start to look at how far the tribe of Judah has gotten into everything, and you can find Jewish symbols in Japanese, like the emperor's coffins, and you can find stuff there, and they claim that that's where Jesus died.
Japan?
They claim that he died in Japan. They have the tomb of Jesus, his death site in Japan. So you start to look into this stuff, and there's a lot more going on than what you think.
Jesus Samurai?
Wow, man, that'd be fucking badass.
Died on Mount Fuji?
Well, I mean, I've been to Korean church before, and it's the same thing as every other church you go to. You got buff Jesus on the cross, but he's all slanty-eyed. Oh, can I say that on YouTube?
So you went
we'll find out.
You went to a Korean Christian church?
Yeah, I went to a Korean Christian church. So, funny thing is...
I think they believe in what? Shinto or Buddhism?
No.
Confucianism?
So actually, all of the missionaries from America...
I know they have some who are Christian. These probably you went to. But.
No. Like in like the 1800s, there was a fuckload of missionaries from America that were going to Korea and Japan.
So they converted a lot of them?
Well, in Korea they converted a lot of them, but in Japan
they had still Shinto and stuff.
Well, they had most of the island was locked down. So whenever the missionaries tried to come and stuff, they'd tell them like turn around or we're gonna kill you. So because they were purposely keeping themselves locked up. And they didn't want to associate with anybody. They just wanted to be left alone on their island.
They were isolationists for a long time, actually.
Yeah, until until Jesus died there, and then the Jews started writing stuff on their coffins, I guess. So.
Yeah. He was a samurai. He was into Bushido.
Jesus. Burning Bushido.
The burning Bushido.
The burning Bushido.
He committed seppuku on the cross.
on Mount Sinai.
He committed suicide for our sins.
Seppuku.
Oh, this is so bad. I'm gonna go to hell for this.
Seppuku on Mount Sinai for all of mankind.
For our sins.
God damn it.
After he was dishonored by the bush. Okay. That's enough of this. All right.
He tells everybody else, "You dishonor my father," and then he does it.
You are not honorable. You dishonor my father who died for your sins.
You are dishonorable.
Because you dishonor the Lord, I must kill myself. In the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit.
No, we're getting kicked off. We're getting kicked off of YouTube for sure this time. That's okay. Our YouTube channel doesn't have too many people. We just
No. We've got over 500
Catholic.
people watching this on Rumble.
I was raised Catholic too, by the way, so I know all these. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Our kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. I'm not going to go into more like that, but I know all the prayers. I know all the things. Roman Catholic. Although ethnically I'm more Swedish than I am the other things, but I'm also Italian and Irish. But so I was brought up in the Roman Catholic Church.
Well, I'm Irish, Italian, and Spanish, so I mean,
my Swedish ancestors were, I think, Methodists before they came over, or what they converted when they got over.
Well, so actually, that's the funny thing about the missionaries that went to Korea and Japan. They were Protestant.
Yeah.
I don't know if they were Methodist or what brand of heretic they were, but
yeah, I don't get into all these.
No, the Catholic, the first ones.
To
Japan.
Well, to Japan maybe, but in Korea,
no, Japan.
all the places that I went and I saw, like
too many Christian
all the churches and museums that they had, they were some sort of Protestant. So
too many Christian denominations, in my opinion. At least in Islam, you only got Shiites and Sunnis, and I think there's a few others, but those are the main predominant ones.
Yeah, there's a couple of them. But I guess the thing is, well, you can immediately get rid of a few of them. I mean, Latter-day Saints, that's not Christianity.
Jehovah's Witness.
No, that's
born
not.
again Christians.
Yeah, you can get rid of what did the Latter-day Saints call themselves before the Mormons? There we go.
Oh, you're talking about the Mormons, yeah.
Yeah.
Those are.
Yeah, those are not Christians. Those are.
The Amish are Christians. They consider themselves Christians anyway.
Are they?
Yes, they are.
You got the Mennonites.
Yeah, Mennonites. You got evangelicals, Baptists, Protestants, obviously.
Bible Church.
Lutherans, Methodists.
I think Lutherans are the original Protestant, right?
Yeah, I think they're very strict ones. Very strict ones. What are the Church of England is Anglicans or
Church of England?
Yeah, but I think that is there's a name. They're Protestants.
They were Catholic until one of their dickhead emperors wanted to get.
Yeah, King Henry VIII. He wanted to get divorced. They wouldn't let him start his own church.
Get divorced. Took him a long time to son too.
Divorced, beheaded, died. Divorced, beheaded, survived. I think is what it is. Is that the one?
He had 8 wives.
Right. Oh, yeah. 8. Oh fuck! I only got up to 6.
No, yeah, he had a lot. He had 8.
8, yeah.
Well, but he was also
because he was trying to have. The rumor was he was trying to have a son, but really probably just wanted to get some extra poon. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, I thought there was also that thing about like he had to get circumcised like way later because like his dick didn't work right or something, and
I don't know.
Because I remember in history class one of the kings, he had to get his dick circumcised like when he was like almost 20 years old because like it was painful for him to like get hard and they were making jokes in like the peasants were walking around saying like his key didn't fit in the lock of his wife or something, and
Ooh.
right.
Most Europeans aren't circumcised, so.
Right. Well, I mean, there is a medical argument for it in certain cases, but I want my foreskin back.
Yeah.
They used to, I think they did in like the 60s, 70s, and 80s. They just took it off anyway.
I'm not getting mine back, so.
Well, I mean, in America,
we pretty much all Americans are.
in America, I think we know who influenced that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's, if I keep getting into that
Yep.
too much, then
Yeah.
You can insinuate.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, they're already coming after you.
Right.
That's it for you.
well, good thing I live here in
They're going to cut your bank off.
Orthodox Christianity.
The land of the free. Oh yeah, I forgot. There was another sect we didn't mention. There's another one. God, Greek Orthodox.
Well,
technically Greek Orthodox.
well, the Eastern Orthodoxy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you go down to Ukraine, though, a lot of the old cathedrals say Greek Orthodox Church. I don't know. Greek
Yeah,
Orthodox.
because the Greeks came from Greece to here and brought it. Originally, all the original priests were Greeks.
But it's
Byzantium. There you go.
Catholicism and
Constantinople.
Orthodoxy used to be the same thing until the Pope tried
They
to
got-
change too much stuff.
Those are the two oldest ones, though. Is first you have Catholicism, then you have Greek Orthodox Christianity.
But they were
They're the two
one
oldest
church before the
Yeah,
Pope.
they were.
The Pope had too much power and he was changing too much stuff.
Until 1,000 years ago. There's not actually. I say the least differences are between the Orthodox Church and the Roman Catholic Church. There's not really that many ideological differences.
There's not very many ideological differences. The problem is that in the Catholic Church, basically, whatever the Pope says is whatever happens.
Yeah, the Word of God. Yeah.
Right. So, I mean, they have a hierarchy, obviously, in the Eastern Orthodox Church. You have a Russian
Patriarchs.
Pope. I don't know if they use the word Pope.
No, they use patriarch, or like as their, and there's like a grand like supreme patriarch in the Orthodox Church too.
Yeah, so I mean, they have that, but
They're more based on the Scripture though.
Right.
They base their religion around.
well, and I guess for the Italian Pope, I mean, well, but he's technically not even Italian because they live in their own country.
Yeah.
Which makes them completely exempt from anything, and they can do whatever they want in their land as long as the Pope okays it.
Yeah, I'm not going to fault them for that. It's great to have your own country, except when you go around, raping little boys or whatever.
Right. Well, they have too much power, and they change too much stuff. I mean, how often do you read about like the Pope recently, like just does a bunch of stuff where you're wondering, why are you doing that?
Like just now where he said that gay people become priests.
Well, and before that, see, I didn't fucking know about that. But
I didn't know about that either. He
Yeah,
said something against.
That's a new one.
He said something against transgender ideology last year. But it's like kind of late in the game for him to say that after so many years of this crap going around.
Well, the thing is, to be a priest, you're not supposed to have any sort of sexuality. You're supposed to give that up, and you're
celibate.
You're a servant of God. You're
celibate.
Yeah,
You're a
but
monk.
Protestants could be married, right?
Yeah,
the Church of England, they can.
I don't know.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, Church of England, they can be married.
The other denominations can do whatever they want. They're all gonna burn in hell.
We're talking about Catholicism.
Yeah.
Yeah, in Catholicism, pretty much the priests, all the clergy is celibate. They're like monks.
Oh, but that's the other thing. There's no hell in Orthodoxy. Hell is something that was made by the Pope later.
I don't believe in hell. I mean, well, first of all, I said I was raised Catholic. I don't say I'm Catholic right now. I kind of more align with Buddhism of any religion than I do anything else right now.
Yeah, it's more of philosophy.
It's more philosophy, yeah, it is. I take a lot of the morals and teachings from Christianity and kind of adopt them into my own sort of personal ideology. But the Buddhism philosophy is very interesting if you get into it, especially the way they view the universe and aspects of reincarnation, karma, and things like that.
I mean, I just try not to be an asshole, but
yeah, you're gonna say something like I'm a heathen or something.
But I'm pretty fucking good at doing that. So, being an asshole.
All right, go ahead. I'll let you do it, kid. Go.
But I don't know. Before I saw, even just when the Pope said that it was acceptable for priests to bless gay and transgender patrons of the church, and that it was okay for gay and transgender patrons to attend church. No, I don't agree with that at all. I mean, it's completely against.
It's totally against everything in the Bible, everything that was historically ever done in the church, and there is a reason for that. And yeah.
Well, and just because you want to get more people into the church, like you're trying to talk to the modern people, you think that going against all of the teaching is going to do that? I don't understand.
They want to get more people into the church. They need to get the people that want to be there in there.
Right.
So they need to stick to their thing, and people are waking up. People see there's things wrong with the modern world. They're going to be drawn to religions to cope with the modern world. So people will come to them. Maybe they won't choose Catholicism. Maybe they'll choose another religion. Regardless, they're going to get drawn to that themselves.
No, but Catholicism and Eastern Orthodoxy is supposed to be that's like a safe haven for conservative people to be like-minded together in a community. And all those gay people, exactly like you said, like they don't actually want to be there. They don't actually care about the teachings of the Bible, or they don't care about God or anything like that. And if they want to pretend like, oh, Jesus loves everybody no matter what, well, I mean,
so then you end up in this place where if you're going to love everybody no matter what, then there is no right and wrong, basically, because they'll love you regardless.
And that's the problem that you run into with those Jewish teachings, where they're God's chosen people, and no matter what they do, there's no right or wrong. There's no punishment. They go to heaven
except
no matter
when they
what.
do bad things to each other. So
right, but even then, there's no hell, and they still go to heaven. So if you live like that, where there's absolutely no repercussions for anything, I mean,
your society will cease to function very quickly.
Right.
That's what's happening with the West now.
Yeah.
Well,
To some
exactly.
extent, yeah.
But I mean, the bigger problem is that I mean, if you own a dog, right? I mean, or even a cat or something else, you love your dog, right? And let's say you come home one day from work, and then you find your dog is just absolutely latched the fuck onto your kid's arm, and he's about to rip it off. Well, do you still love your dog? No.
I don't think so.
I'm gonna kill that motherfucker. Like, sorry. Like, there's only a certain amount of, like, that dog is family, and you're supposed to love that dog forever. But if it snaps, like, yeah, I'm gonna take it outside and I'm gonna fucking shoot it. So, to think that Jesus loves everybody, well, no. The Catholic Church, even though there might not be an actual place like hell, but there is punishments for your actions. Things will happen, and all those fucking trannies and gays and stuff that want to pretend that, oh, Jesus loves everybody and this is how God made me and all this other stuff. No, I think a lot of that is a choice, and if they want to go to church, they're going to end up at one of those fucking gay non-denominational churches where they play all that fucking music and they have a fucking rock band up on stage, and they can go have fun with that while I go to real church, and it's just how it is. So if you try and sell out your own religion to these fucking people, and you're trying to grift them, then I don't know, you're just not relating to your fan base, to your I say fan base, but to the practitioners of your fucking religion. If you're gonna keep on giving into this stuff, you're completely changing how everything works. And I don't know. I think that's why a lot of people have started looking more into Eastern Orthodoxy. I know that when I was talking to people when these things were happening, where the Pope was changing all this stuff, they were talking about how they were looking more into Eastern Orthodoxy in the Russian Church, and so it's funny because the more that they try and push all this stuff in,
Yeah, it's
the
funny.
more people are looking into Russia and Belarus and
The church, the Orthodox Church, and the political structure within the countries that follow Orthodox Christianity seem to be working together because they're both moving in a conjoined direction. Whereas the more the Western, like the Catholic and the Protestant churches, try to move in the Western direction where the political direction is going, people are going to move away from that because they don't. A lot of the stuff that the church and the politics doesn't align, especially when you compare it historically. So.
Well, and that's where we go back to where those people from that one tribe are trying to destroy religion, destroy the family, take over politics, and you see how the people that actually believe in Christianity are moving to places like this. And I mean, in all the documentaries that I was watching, it specifically states that one of the goals is to
Grab beer.
yeah, I'll take another one. To completely crush.
Grab me a Coke.
Sure. Coke Zero or
No, real one.
They want to completely crush Christianity first. But why target Christianity? I don't know. How many times have you read that in the Talmud it specifically says that Jesus is in the deepest layer of hell and he is burning in boiling excrement? I keep on reading that over and over and over again. And why target us? We're supposed to be sharing the Old Testament, and then we just have an additional book. We're both Abrahamic religions. Why target it like that? And why write all that stuff for the Talmud so many years afterwards? And when you start to ask the Orthodox Jews these questions, I saw a video on it, and they tried to say that it's all one book, and that they hate Christians. They should be able to kill Christians whenever they want. They spit on you.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that in Jerusalem.
Right. So these people that believe all this stuff, how are these people America's greatest ally? Why do they own all of this stuff? I spent like 4 hours, 6 hours watching fucking documentaries and videos and stuff today, and I don't know, the more you look into it, it's why?
Going down the rabbit hole.
Right. Well, it's or I guess you could say you're going into the Jew tunnels. They make them in New York, at least.
Yeah, what happened with that?
Oh,
No, because it was reported, obviously, and there was photos and videos, but then it just sort of stopped.
Well, but that's the thing, is that they own all of the news media and all of the regular media companies, and so they don't hide stuff. I mean, they'll report it, but the way that the news cycle works is these people have like fucking squirrel brains, and so you read about all of this stuff, and you'll even see the things that they're doing. They'll say, Israel IDF forces, like how they were raping all those prisoners, like males raping males. They put all that in the news, but then do they talk about that anymore? No. Now they're talking about those 1,200 prisoners that they want back, that Hamas has or whatever.
It's only 100 and something. They're going to give 1,200 Palestinians back.
Oh, see, so even that, like I
No one's asked why have they got 1,200 Palestinian hostages? Well, they got more than that, obviously.
I thought it was they had 1,200 IDF guys.
No.
So
well, thanks.
No problem.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, but the thing is okay, so your battle is with Hamas, right? Well, if I have a battle with and this is the same thing that you see in the Russian-Ukraine war. You have two armies fighting each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, whenever you see Russia even accidentally hit something, you see it all over the news. Oh, Russia attacked this school or blah blah blah. Well, most of the time it turns out that they were using a building for something that they shouldn't have been using it for. And then that place gets blown the fuck up. But even when there's an accident, suddenly it's all over the place. But you can find these fucking videos on Telegram and all these other places where you've got like these 9/11 style drone attacks where they're driving these fucking RC planes loaded with explosives into like apartment buildings and stuff. These are just like normal fucking places. That's not terrorism. That's not a war crime. Like, and I even saw a video of a Ukrainian guy like smashing open a Russian soldier's head with a sledgehammer against a wall after he was forcing him to say like glory to Ukraine and all this other stuff, and I admit that I was wrong, and then just fucking like a watermelon, dude. His brains were all over the fucking place.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was pretty fucked up. But it's just, the thing is like, you only see what they want you to see. You only get the reports that they want you to get, and then they're gonna keep on repeating the ones where they want you to keep thinking about that. They're still gonna report some stuff, but I don't know. They just wait for the squirrel brain to take effect, and it's all controlled by them.
Mm. They stopped talking about Butcher because they couldn't prove that was real.
Which one?
Bucha?
I don't know which one that is.
There was during the first few months of the war,
Yeah.
when Russia sent in troops to like all over, even from the north, from Belarus here, they took a town outside of Kiev called Bucha, and supposedly after Putin started withdrawing from the Kiev vicinity and focusing on the Eastern Front, Ukrainian troops moved in, and supposedly Russia had committed a massacre there, they were saying, and that they had killed a bunch of people, and they found a bunch of bodies and stuff. And if you remember, do you remember that guy, Red Pill Coach?
Mm-mm.
You don't know who he is? All right, Gonzalo Lira.
No.
All right.
You don't remember
So he was
Gonzalo?
doing a big story about that because he was claiming that the whole thing was set up by the Ukrainians, and that these people were basically either executed by the Ukrainians, or they just took like bodies that had been, people had been killed in combat or whatever, and just threw them on the streets around Bucha, and said that this was done by the Russians or whatever. The Ukrainians were saying it was done by the Russians. But then it was like, there was a lot of theories about that not being true. If you go on the Wikipedia today, they'll still say they'll be listed on Wikipedia as being an event, but they still will say that there's, a lot of contention around it about its factuality and stuff.
Well, on Wikipedia, if you go into the early life section now, it won't tell you if somebody is Jewish. You used to be able to go on there and see it. Now they cleaned all that off there.
No, I think so. I think he's.
It depends. You can go on pages where it used to be.
Yeah,
like they're in the
some of them
process
are
of taking it off.
Because now they've used up a lot of their capital in terms of empathy from people.
Yeah, because it was like even something as simple as I saw a post from a travel. I sent you this video on Telegram. It was some news reporter saying that a travel website voted Chicago as the best city to go visit for the 8th year in a row, unprecedented. And that audio is overlaid onto a shot of somebody driving past a car that's got like 40 fucking bullet holes in it and a fucking cop car behind it.
And the highest murder rate in America.
Right. But you should go there because for 8 years they said it's the fucking best.
What was that? I'm sorry, I missed that part.
Chicago.
Never been there.
Don't fucking do it.
I've been to the airport a bunch of times. Never been to the city.
Yeah. I mean, even just when you go to the airport, I mean, the Chicago airport is not fun.
Yeah,
like
it's big.
the neighborhood.
It's hard to get around.
But the neighborhoods outside of there, they're pretty fucked up.
Oh,
Because you got Chicago International and then you got Midway. International it's still a little sketchy, but Midway,
John F. Kennedy's in the middle of Jamaica, Queens, which is a fucking dump.
well, I mean, Chicago's like any other big city in America, you know? Like, as soon as you turn on to MLK Boulevard, just lock your fucking doors.
Yeah, yeah. No, I mean, it's same. New York's the same thing, or even worse, maybe in some ways. Well, I mean, like my cousins when my son was born. Oh, when you come back to visit? Da 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 da. You're like, I gotta. If I came back to visit, you know, unless I want to pay an extra $600, you know, just for an hour flight up to Albany, I'd have to fly into New York City, which makes sense because it's only a couple hours away. But that means I got to take the metro into Manhattan to grab a train up to upstate, which is not that expensive, and not even that much time either. But I still got to take a metro in through New York City, which starts in Jamaica, Queens. And I'm like, oh, man, all this time. Part of the city
you got one of the videos lined up of somebody getting pushed into the.
No, look at this. This is new. This is the subway. They've just added something to the subway here.
It's a mess.
Okay. Oops, that's us.
You got people coming from
Okay,
all
watch
over
this.
the world. They
Look
gotta
at
go
this.
through
Look at this.
Jamaica,
This is
Queens.
to stop ticket jumpers. Look at the serrated edges on the thing there.
What the fuck?
It's to stop people. Yeah.
Yeah, put their hands on it to lift themselves over.
Yeah.
How do they think that's gonna work? I could still jump over that, and I'm fucking crippled.
Well, people are going underneath, as you see here. Look,
Right.
Yeah.
just going under it, but you can't. You know, before they used to just grab the sides and jump over it like that.
Yeah.
Well, but that doesn't stop anything.
You know, you gotta figure because there they have. I mean, they have cameras and everything, but they don't have police at every metro station in New York City. So it's not like here. Nobody gives a shit. You know, they hop it. They're not gonna go after them. You know.
Well, I mean, you can push people onto the tracks or
Yeah.
set old ladies on fire. Or...
Yeah. Well, they did arrest that guy. And,
Well, yeah, but I mean, like, what are they gonna do? I mean, he was homeless from some other country. They're gonna give him free food for a few years and then send him back home.
he's probably going to jail for the rest of his life. But I mean, for him, you know, if he's homeless already, now he's got free health care and free food, free housing.
Yeah, I mean, the guy doesn't even speak English, dude. Like, he's fine. He gets free fucking jailhouse sandwiches forever.
Yeah. Well,
cock meat sandwich.
maybe you should start incentivizing people instead of just working to survive. Maybe you got to make it so that they work to thrive, you know, instead of just surviving.
Well, yeah,
if you
but
could just go to jail and live the rest of your life, blah, what's to incentivize people from not committing crimes to go to jail?
but then you don't have the 800 slaves for each Jew, like the Talmud says. I watched too many
didn't see that part of the
documentaries
Talmud.
today.
I saw the part where it said that you can like rape Gentile women and stuff. I didn't see that part.
Well, you can do absolutely anything you want to anybody that's not
Yeah,
a
it's
Jew
not
because
Jewish.
they're not a person.
Yeah, they're not human. They're animals.
Sounds like Islamic as well.
Some of the Islamic stuff, yeah.
Well, I'll
Not
tell
all
you
of it.
what, if you have more than 50% Ashkenazi DNA, everybody is at least your third cousin, if they're also Ashkenazi. So I'm assuming if you have 100%, everybody is your cousin.
Yeah, you can.
First cousin.
You can run for the Knesset. You can be there.
Well, I think, like I was talking about before, they all got that same fucking brow with the almost unibrow and right, and the big old fucking nose and jeez. I mean, I don't got the world's smallest nose, but
And on that note,
no, we're definitely getting kicked off of YouTube.
yeah, well, you know.
You're talking about too much of the J stuff, bro.
Sorry, I dude, you know how many fucking documentaries you can find? Everybody's got to watch that documentary that I watched today. You got to go to that what is that guy's fucking website?
Why don't you send it to me? I'll watch it. I've watched a bunch of them already. It might be one I already watched. I watched one about the Talmud a few months ago. It's pretty interesting.
Let me see here. It's stewpeters.com. And the one about the Israeli people in our government, that one's called Occupied. And then I watched the other one. We were talking about this before the show, about all of the great fires that are in America that we've had in all the big cities. We were talking about how there's all of these lost cities that are buried just beneath the streets, where you have all these hidden buildings.
Yeah.
In Europe as well.
All of these big Senate buildings and Capitol buildings in America, where if everything else was built out of fucking sticks, it doesn't make any sense why you have all of these big, huge, grandiose buildings, and then
Also in the middle of nowhere.
they're in the middle of nowhere. There wasn't anything there, and then also it says that it only took them 1 year or 2 years to make it from starting a plan to finishing. None of it makes any sense. What was it you said? The Great Reset. That's the way you put it. But at some point, obviously, something was changed, something that we're not privy to. And then they were talking about how the American public school system was started by the Rothschilds. So we're getting back into that other documentary I watched. And
It all leads back.
it all goes to the same fucking place. It always does.
I think I'm gonna leave it like 10.
Yeah, no, we're gonna close up now.
Oh,
But-
okay.
Yeah, so we'll just leave that because
You're already attracting too much attention from Hasbara and Mossad. So
I had a beer. Sorry, I'm not thinking correctly.
yeah. Okay, everybody. Tomorrow we're back. Well, I'm back anyway. Michael might be back if he hasn't been arrested or kidnapped and taken to
he's been renditioned.
I'm,
Like
I'm,
Eichmann.
I'm hard to carry away.
like
I'm
like
fat.
Eichmann.
Oh, that'd be a shame. We don't want to see you ending up on Michael's telegram as a victim.
Yeah.
I have all my stuff encrypted. Good luck.
Isn't Michael coming here next month? By the way, he's gonna be here.
Yes, end of February. Michael and his friend.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No,
There's
not
another
this Michael. There's another Michael. Michael in Ireland.
Yes, they're coming.
Ireland. He's not
I-
Irish though, apparently.
I'm
No.
Because he keeps
I'm-
talking
I'm-
about the Irish.
I'm supposedly Irish, so
I'm Irish.
I need
Part
to.
Irish. Anyway.
I'm Irish Michael, not from Ireland. I need to meet not Irish Michael from Ireland.
Yeah, I'm going. I'm organising a corporate box at the hockey for him, or those two and us.
Does he at least drink like he's Irish?
Corporate box at the hockey.
It's only 700 rubles a game.
Does he drink like he's Irish?
That's all right.
Well, I mean, if you're willing to blow for it, I mean,
Yeah, well,
let's
it's-
have a little celebration.
It's only a couple $100.
I mean, like once we throw all in together, it's what?
Only about $220 or so.
Yeah, it's
Exactly.
It's
We
what,
can,
like
you can get 10 people in there.
yeah,
And you can drink there too. You don't have to go down or outside.
$30 per person. 20.
Exactly. It's much better. Easier.
Yeah, if you're paying, if you put it like that, you're doing,
Yeah, I'll let you know the date anyway. I'm organising now. I'm trying to organise it when they're here, and if it's at least a semi-final or something like
how
that.
many people are you gonna get? If you say you get, 10 people to go, you're gonna have to pay 70.
Do strippers count as people?
Yeah.
But they're not gonna pay to be there. You're gonna have to pay them to be there. So that's the
Well,
problem.
yeah. I mean, but
Well, I was just going to get it anyway. But if you two want to come, his girlfriend, Michael, and the other guy, Max is coming. So there's a few of us.
Sure, Andrew. What about?
Oh well, no, he won't be back.
he back
Yeah. February 9th he'll be back.
well, I guess
He's going to Thailand.
now that I think about it,
Nice.
like, no, strippers don't really count as people because, but
I know-
but do they count as seats? Do they take up space?
Only if they're sitting. Hey, only if
I
they're
think
sitting.
you should go down to the synagogue here and see if you can get some of your friends to come along.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I just say, ask them to come along. We'll do a little prayer for the Talmud and everything, and pray for everybody in Tel Aviv. And,
Maybe we could like fly a plane into a building and then dance afterwards.
yeah.
Anyway,
I don't think.
Anyway, as you can see, I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe Michael will be back, like I said, if he hasn't been renditioned. Tomorrow, Trump's inauguration. We'll be starting around 7 p.m. doing that live, and having some shots every time he says something. We'll have to think of what something. Any idea?
those people from that one place.
I don't think he'll say that.
No.
Tremendous, maybe he likes to say that a lot. Fabulous. He used to do it when he would say China. Yeah, China.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to say
No,
that.
actually, so the funny thing is, I think during his inauguration, because of everything that's going on, I think you're going to hear the words Ukraine and Israel quite a bit. So that might be a fun game to play.
Exactly.
Every time that they talk about, we have to defend our allies, whether it's Ukraine or Israel. Let's drink.
It's going to be inside as well because it's going to be too cold in DC.
Oh, so you'll get to hear
Yeah.
every word he's saying.
Yeah.
It's fucking brutally cold there. I know it's a lot colder than here. Where I'm from, which is usually a little bit warmer than here. -16 Celsius there right now.
See, I don't understand. Like
The winter here has been really mild this year.
Yeah, it is.
how
Not
could
much
you
snow.
how could you have that inside though?
They do it in like the rotunda of the Capitol.
No,
Yeah.
no. But there's too many people, and then at the same time, I mean, like, how many times did you hear about George Washington sailing across the Potomac?
The Potomac, yeah.
Yeah, during the middle of winter.
But I think he was only like in his 40s during the Revolutionary War. So
Okay, so
Trump is in his 70s.
he's fighting a war,
Yeah.
and he's sending all of his people in boats across when the winter was colder.
Yeah.
If you believe all of the.
It's going to be cold. The last cold one was Ronald Reagan's one.
There was one president who died a month after doing one of his inauguration speech.
Yeah, but I don't get it though. Like they can't give him a hat, some hand warmers, and
Yeah, you just gotta wear a wool jacket. He's already wearing a wool suit, so put on a heavy overcoat and a hat and
I mean,
a space heater.
Maybe
Space heater behind
maybe
they
they
just had all those people outside in New York City that were wearing fucking diapers and pissing and shitting themselves.
maybe
all.
they're worried about some assassination attempt.
Yeah, that's probably.
Oh, yeah.
They can't cover in as many angles or whatever.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Yeah, but
A lot of bulletproof glass.
when you say it like that, but I mean they
It's gonna be
did
the
just
CIA, so.
Oh yeah, that's probably.
for that fucking New York ball drop that they just did. I mean, there were all those people that were pissing shitting themselves in diapers all day, and that was really fucking cold. You could see it.
Yeah, it gets cold in New York City in the winter.
But, you had Don Lemon and his buddies up there talking about doing acid and stuff the whole time, and then you've got fucking two gay guys making out as soon as the ball drops. It's the first thing they show is two dudes kissing each other. Thanks, CNN.
At least 10, 15 years ago, it'd just be Kathy Griffin, you know.
Jesus.
At least she's a woman. You
I
know?
almost forgot about Kathy Griffin.
On that wonderful note, thanks for tuning in, especially the 500 odd on Rumble and the 2 on YouTube, and if it's still going, if they haven't stopped it, and we'll see you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Minsk, which is 4 p.m. GMT London, roughly, or 11 a.m. in New York when the inauguration starts. Bye, everybody. Oh, do you want anybody to follow you anywhere on
No,
anything?
stop it. Stop following me.
You?
No, I don't have anything really going.
Yeah, no one wants to follow anybody.
I'll watch videos on my YouTube.
Well, there you go. What's
When
your
you wanna watch videos?
what's your YouTube channel?
It's my YouTube channel.
What
I
is
don't
your
even
YouTube
know what
channel?
it is.
You don't want to say your Instagram channel?
No.
Is it the actual name I got or like the at something?
It's the at something, I think.
Oh man, there is at Weasel
Oh no, I think you've got. Haven't you got a name?
9062.
There you go.
Stop following me. I saw you tailing me to the grocery store the other day, too.
Yes.
Yeah.
Stalkers.
Stop it.
And
You have no views right now. Nobody watching.
no, here, look.
Oh, no. He's
Looking
got
red.
plenty of people
It's on
watching.
Rumble.
You're looking red.
560.
Yep.
Oh my god. You got more. So I'm looking at that. Is that on YouTube?
Yeah, there's no one on
So
YouTube.
nobody on YouTube. You got 600 people on. Oh my god.
Yes. Yes.
That was way more than before.
YouTube is.
I gotta
Yeah.
move over to Rumble.
No, we're getting.
It's all
No,
right,
we're
I'm-
getting on average 1,100 views in each video now. It's not bad.
I'm still getting more on my watch videos.
Ah, there you
People
go.
love watches.
Yeah,
They love them.
there you go. Now you have more. All those people will be tuning into your YouTube.
Now you're definitely going to get watched after today's episode. We're all getting gang stalked.
But the thing is, I'm just doing them for these like 1-2 minute videos for people who are buying them in Russia and stuff that I'm putting them up there for. You know?
No, I mean that we're going to get gang stalked because I said too much on the station.
By the The tribe, yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's a very touchy thing. Yeah. You know, I'm not saying it's not justified though. I'm just saying it's touchy.
It's
You got to be careful about it when you're dealing with those people.
right.
You know?
Yeah, all opinions of everybody here is their own.
I'm gonna be
Yeah.
like Tim Pool. I'm
Yeah, he's
gonna,
got
I'm gonna
all these
pull a Uno
bank
reverse
accounts and
card on you
businesses,
guys. It's gonna turn out like next Hanukkah I'm gonna pull out a dreidel. I was a Mossad agent the whole time.
Who? Tim Pool?
No,
Could
me.
have been.
Oh,
Well, also Tim Pool, but
He could be. He's a little too beefy for a typical member of the tribe, though.
yeah,
A
no,
lot of
I'm.
them are kind of stringy, you know. Usually.
isn't he Korean?
What?
Isn't he Korean?
Who?
Half Korean?
Tim Pool?
Yeah.
I don't know anything about him. I'm talking about Michael.
Oh, sorry.
Well, and what's the other half? Jew.
on that note, bye everybody.